Hi everyone, I hope that you're fine today and I hope that you're good. So today we will be having subject verb agreement. First, you just need to log in using the aplusstudent.com, and then you log in with your email and your password. Then you go on to the grades that you're working on, and then you select the chapter. Okay. So hi Ufama and hi Raja. Hi, hope you all are doing great. So yeah. Okay, so just log in using the A plus student as usual, okay? And then we'll go to the grade. So here, I just click on my name. So you always have your name here. So just click on your name and then you go to the chapter that you're working on. So since we have grade 5, we'll go to grade 5. Okay, hi Helena. All right, so under grade 5, we will go to subject verb agreements, which is the topic we're having for today. Okay, so we'll start from the first lesson. We have two lessons under subject verb agreement. The first one is use the correct subject or verb. Okay, so we click on the first one. All right, so we'll just have to read through the tutorials first. So it's really important that you go through your tutorials. If you do not go through the tutorials and then you just move on to the test, you will have no idea of what is going on. Okay? All right, so now we just need to know what the subject and the verb in the sentence are. Okay, so first you need to note that the subject and the verb in a sentence must agree. Okay, so the subject and the verb in a sentence must agree, and then that's why we have the topic which is subject verb agreements, so both of them must agree. Okay, now what is the subject, or how do you know what the subject is in the sentence? um Singular subject, name only one person, animal, place, or thing. When a subject is singular, use a singular verb. Use singular verb to express a singular subject. Okay. Uh, my name. So Helena, my name is Jada. You can call me Jada. Okay. All right. So, like I was saying, singular subject, name only one person. Of course, we know that when we talk about singular, it is all about one. Singular, single. So it's one, it names one person, animal, place, or thing. So it could be one person, it could be one animal, a place, or a thing. Okay? When a subject is singular, you use a singular verb. So when you have a singular subject, when it's talking about just one, you use a singular verb as well. And then singular verbs end in s, es, or ies. So you need to take notes that the singular verbs end in s, es, or ies. So we'll just go to the board here. So you note that the singular verb ends in s, es, ies. Okay, so this is it for the singular verb. And then for singular subjects, you need what? Singular verb. So you cannot have a plural subject and then a singular verb. You cannot have these two together. It's gonna be wrong. Okay? And then you can only have plural subject with plural verb. Okay, so this is the agreement. Okay, take note that it says that the subject and the verb must agree in the sentence, and that's why we have subject verb agreement. Okay, so the subject and the verb must agree in the sentence. So now singular subject and singular verb, yes, they go together. And plural subject, plural verb, of course, they go together. But you cannot have a singular subject with a singular verb. It doesn't work like that. Or a singular subject with a plural verb. Never. It doesn't work like that. So they both must agree. So once it's singular all true. And once it's plural all true. Okay? So we have some examples here for the singular subject. Sarah visits her grandmother. Okay? Sarah visits her grandmother. So if you look at visit, it has S. Of course, I said that the singular verb ends in S, ES, or IES. So now this verb here, visit, has S. Okay, so it has s at the end. And then why is it having s? Because it's a singular verb, and then the singular verb will go with what? The singular subject. So we have Sarah, which is just one. Okay, one person. It's not two or three. No, just one person, right? So singular subject and then singular verb. Sarah visits her grandmother. And then moving on, we will go to the plural. So, like I said, the plural subject goes with the plural verb. But then, one thing you should note is that the plural verbs do not end in s, es, or ies. Okay, so only the subject, the singular verb and singular subject have the I, es, or es and s, right? But the singular subject, but the plural subject and the plural verb do not have s or es. So plural subjects name more than one person, animal, place, or thing. When a subject is plural, use a plural verb. Plural verbs usually do not end in s, es, or ies. Okay? So yeah, that's it. Note that when a subject is plural, use a plural verb like I have said, and the plural verbs do not have an s or es or ies. There's none. The flowers grow in the garden. The flowers grow in the garden. So now we have flowers. Flowers here shows that it's what? Plural. It didn't say the flower. If it says the flower, then you know that it's just one. But it says the flowers. So we have lots of flowers, right, in the garden. So S. And then the grow here stands for what? The verb. So you see that the verb does not have s, es, or ies. Of course, that's how it should be for the plural verb. It doesn't have s, es, or ies. So the flowers grow in the garden. And we have Kyle and Jesse walk home. So now Kyle and Jesse, it's two people, right? It's two. We have Jesse and then we have Kyle. So it shows that it's plural. It's not just one person, it's more than one person. And then walk here is the verb, but the verb does not have an S or ES or IS, of course, because it's a plural verb. Okay, so plural verb will not have anything attached to it. So yeah, we have Kyle and Jesse walk home. So look at the subject. Let's look at some example. Yeah. So complete the sentence with the best verb. Did you know that our business space normal hours during the holidays? So now you see here it's empty. There's supposed to be a verb here. So did you know that our business dash normal hours during the holidays? Now what is gonna be the correct answer here? First you have to figure out the subject and then you figure out the verb. Okay? So let's look at this part here. Look at the subject, our business. It is a singular verb. So our business, it didn't say like businesses with es or something to show that it's so many business. It just says our business. So it's telling you that it's what we have just one business. Okay? So it's a singular subject and it goes with what a singular verb. And of course, the singular verb ends in s, es, or ies. Okay. Ufama, can you ask a question? You said that you don't get it. Please, can you leave on the chat if you have any questions, just so that I can explain better to you? Okay. So you can ask me any question on the chat box, and then I'm going to explain. So yeah. Just ask any question and then I'm just gonna explain to you. You can drop your questions on the chat. All right. So, but I will go over it again. Just listen to me carefully. So, I'm going to explain again. Now, we have the subject and the verb in a sentence. I do not get what the verb is keep. Verb is keep. You do not get why the verb is keep. Keep, okay, is the verb, but it's just completing the sentence. Now we need to just look at the sentence. The sentence says that, did you know that our business. I'm trying to go through your question, okay? Um, hmm. Okay, so I see your question. You said that I do not get what a verb is. A verb is an action word. Keep is not a verb. Okay. So actually, Ufoma, keep is a verb. Okay. So keep could be a noun and it could be a verb. It just depends on your sentence, on the sentence that you're making. So keep in this particular sentence is it's a verb because keep is showing a possession, maybe when you have something, okay, to retain a possession of something, okay, or it could like cause to continue a specific condition, okay. So now you need to note that keep is a verb, all right, because in this sentence it is retaining possession, okay, and then the business there shows like something that is owned by someone, okay, it's shown that it's owned by someone. That's why we have keep there as the verb. So did you know that our business dash normal hours during the holidays? So it's gonna be, did you know that our business keeps normal hours during the holidays? Okay. Yes. Helena, keep is a noun and a verb. It just depends on what sentence you're making. Okay. Different sentences you make could make it a noun or it could make it a verb. Okay. So that's it. All right, Ufama, we're gonna have like an interaction class after this, like before we end. So you can ask more questions before then, okay? All right. So yeah. All right, so it says that look at the subject, our business. So our business shows that it's just singular subject, and then It goes with a singular verb. Singular verbs end in s, es, or ies. So it says our business keeps. Business is what? A possession owned by someone. Our business. So we have some more example here. We will go through some more examples. And don't worry, before we end the class, you can ask any question that you have, okay? Did you know that Dash carries magazines in 6 languages? So we have an empty space here and we need to find the right answer here. So now you're looking for the best subject. This question says to complete the sentence with the best subject. Okay? Did you know that Dash carries magazines in 6 languages? So now we need to find what is like the best subject for this question. Okay? So now did you know that the store in on the corner carries magazines in 6 languages? If you have a question, just ask the question on the chat. Eh, Type in the full question. I don't know why you all are saying no, but type in a full question so that I can understand. Okay, look at the verb carries. So now the verb in that sentence is carry. So the verb has what? IES. So it shows that what? It's what? A singular what? Singular verb. Because only singular verbs have the IES or the S or ES. Okay, so now it shows that it is what? A singular verb. Now look at the answer choices. The subject, the store on the corner is singular, so it should be used with a singular verb. The store on the corner carries. So if you have a singular verb, you have a singular subject. If you have a plural verb, you have a plural subject. Take note that the singular verb end in s, es, or ies, but the plural verb do not end in s, es, or ies. Okay? Okay. Thank you for explaining. All right, so let's go try on some more questions. And if you have any question like I have said, please just ask on the chat just so that I can explain to you and answer your question, okay? And I hope that so far you understand what we're doing. All right, so we have this one. Before we move on to the test, mice dash in color from white to brown to gray. Okay, mice dash in color from white to brown to gray. So you need to look for what is in the empty space. Okay, so let's go find the answer. So now look at the subject mice. Mice is what? Mice is a plural, is the plural subject. Okay, so mice is a plural subject. All right, and then so it goes with a plural verb. Plural verbs usually do not end in s, es, or ies. So mice range. All right. So since it's a plural subject, it's going to be a plural verb. So it's gonna be mice range, not ranges with s. So now we're gonna move on to the test. We're moving on to the test, so please send in your answers on the chat, okay? So that I know that you're following me and you all know what is going on, okay? I hope you all are listening and I hope you're not distracted on the chat. Just make sure you look at the test questions, send in your answers as we go through with the questions, okay? So complete the sentence with the best verb. Mice dash in color from white to brown to gray. So now send in on the chat which one you think is your answer. Is it the first one or the second one? Is it the first or the second? Hi guys, what are you guys doing on the chat? Send in your answer. Is it the first or the second? Mice in color from white to brown to gray. Okay, so range. All right. So we know that we are getting the best verb in this sentence. So you also, okay, so we have range. Yes. All right, because mice is what? Plural. So range. Okay, thanks, guys. Now, next one. Let's move on to the next. Complete the sentence with the best verb. After dinner, all of us, we have an empty space here. After dinner, all of us dash by the fire and Warren sings folk songs. Okay, so what's the best verb here? What's going to be the best verb? It says, after dinner, all of us dash by the fire and Warren sings folk songs. Huddle, okay. All right. So we have one answer. It says huddle is huddle, okay. All right. All right. So the cactus dash taller and taller, reaching toward the sky. Grows or grow? What's the answer? What's your answer for the next one? Let's see. All right. So what's your answer for this one? We have the cactus to more you build star. What's your answer, guys, for the next one? We have the cactus dash taller and taller, reaching toward the sky. One. Okay, thank you. Canister. Okay, grows. Okay. All right, so we have the next. In the story, we have an empty space, crushes the rose bushes in his pot. In the story, Dash crushes the rose bushes in his part. So we need to find the best subject. What's the best subject here? What's the best subject? Because we have the verb there and it is crushes. So yeah, what is it? What is the best subject in this sentence? Can you guys send in your answers now? Two, number two. All right, the monster with the green. All right, good job, everyone. Next one. Did you know that our business starts normal hours during the holidays? Okay, we did this one in the tutorial, so it is what keeps. All right, so we will answer this last question together before we move on to the next lesson. With each step, dash absorb our full weight, so it is important that we wear supportive shoes. Now, what is the best subject? Please send in your answer. What's the best subject? So, what's the best subject? Our leg. Please send in your answers for this one. What's the best subject here? Okay, please ask your question then. Ask your question. If you have any question, please send on the chat. So we have our leg. Okay. So now before we move on to the next lesson, can you guys ask any question? If you have any question for this one that says use the correct subject or the verb, can you please ask your questions if you have any? What are your questions? You all keep saying explain, explain. What do you need me to explain? Please send on the chat box what you have or what you need me to explain. Oh, so, okay, okay, explain. You all just keep saying explain, explain. So should I explain the lesson all over again? Is that what you want? All right. Now, just pay attention. You all are distracted on the chat. You just keep sending messages and all that. Pay attention, and then I'm going to explain what I've said here. All right, then listen. Listen carefully and stop texting each other here on the chats. All right? Pay attention. So, for this lesson, I told you that the subject and the verb in a sentence must agree. Okay? So the subject and the verb in the sentence must agree. And we all know what that the verb is what is an action word. Okay? And then the subject is like the main person doing something in the sentence. Now we have singular subjects. Singular subject name only one person, animal, place, or thing. When a subject is singular, use a singular verb. Now, take notes that when we say singular, we mean single, one. Okay? So when something is singular, it's just talking about one person, one thing, one place, just one. So singular subjects will always name only one person. And then it's gonna have a singular verb because the subject and the verb must agree in the sentence. Singular verb ends in s, es, or ies. You all take notes. That is what I have written here. Singular verb ends in s, es, ies. But then the plural verb does not end in all this. Only the singular verb has this. So the singular verb will end in s, es, or ies. And then we have an example here. Sarah visits her grandmother. Sarah visits her grandmother. Visit here stands for what? For the verb. And the verb here has S. So once you see that the verb has S, ES, or IES, you know that is what? It is singular verb. Okay, so yes, formal, like you said, a verb explain what someone is doing. Yeah, that's why they say it's an action. Okay, it just tells you that this person is doing this. And then Sarah here, what is Sarah doing? She's visiting her grandmother. Okay, so visits with S is the singular verb. Okay, so once you see that the verb has S, that is all. It just tells you that it is a singular verb. So if you see the verb with S, ES, or IES, just like washes, my cat washes. This one here, the washes here has what? ES. And it shows us that it's a singular verb. Okay? I hope that you all understand. I've been explaining part, and if you're not listening, you can just watch this all over again. All right? And then the plural subject, plural verb. Plural subject is talking about more than one person. We all know that when we say plural, it's referring to more than one. It is two, three, four, five, and above. Okay? And then the plural verb does not end in S, ES, or IES. That's why we have Kyle and Jesse walk home. The flowers, which is S, the flower shows that it's plural. A lot of flowers grow in the garden. And grow does not have an S here, or ES, or IES. So it's a plural verb. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next lesson. I hope that you all understand. If you understand, you're gonna send your question on the chat. All right, so we're moving on to the next one. Use the correct subject of verb with compound subject. Use the correct subject of verb with compound subject. So now this one is gonna have like the compound subjects. Okay? A compound subject is made up of two subjects joined by a conjunction and or. So when you're having a compound subject, it is joined by conjunction and or. So we have two conjunction here, just and or. So now the compound subject is joined by and or. Mark and Amanda this week or next week. So we have Mark and Amanda this week or next week. When a compound subject is joined by and, I hope that you all will pay attention because this is a lot more different than the first lesson. When a compound subject is joined by and, it is treated as plural. So once you see the compound subject and it has and, just know that it is plural. It is treated as plural. Just like here where we have Amanda and Mark, or Mark and Amanda here. If you have Mark and Amanda starting the sentence, then you know that because of the and, it is plural. So you are gonna use a plural verb. And plural verbs, like we all know, does not end in S, ES, or IES. Jen and Andy go to the beach in the summer. Jen and Andy go to the beach in the summer. So we have Jen here and Andy, which makes it a plural subject. When a compound subject is joined by or, it can be treated as singular or plural. So now note the difference. Once you see a compound subject joined by and, it is treated as plural. But once you see it joined by or, it is treated as either singular or plural. Okay? Use a verb that agrees with the subject closest to the verb. Now, once you see that the compound subject is joined by or, it is treated either by singular or plural, but how you figure out the answer is to use the verb that agrees with the subject closest. So you're probably going to see a subject closer to the compound subject, and then you use a verb that is suitable. If the subject closest to the verb is singular, use a singular verb. Singular verbs ends in s, es, or ies. For example, we have a typical example here, and it says that my parents or Emily. Now, it shows that my parent or Emily. Remember that once you see or, it's either singular or plural, but you need to check the subject beside. So the last one is what? Emily here. And Emily is just one person. So it's the last subject. So now brings me soup when I am sick. So because it's Emily here, referring to one person, you are gonna have what? A singular verb, which is brings with s. If the subject closest to the verb is plural, use a plural verb. Plural verbs usually do not end in ses or ies. So now the sentence here is reversed, and then we have Emily or my parents. Now my parents ends with s. It's the last subject here. So because it's my parent, it shows that it's plural. It's a plural subject. So now the verb that should come next should be a plural verb. And a plural verb is not gonna have s or es. Okay? So I'll just go over this one more time and then we move on to the example. A compound subject is made up of two subjects joined by the conjunction and or. Okay? So now the compound subject is joined by the conjunction and or. Mark and Amanda, this week or next week. This is an example of the compound subject joined by a conjunction. Now, when a compound subject is joined by and, now, like Mark and Amanda here, it is treated as plural. So once you see Mark and Amanda, you know that it's treated as plural, and then you will use a plural verb. And of course, the plural verb does not end in s or es. But when you see or, so when the compound subject is joined by or, it can be treated as a singular or plural, just like this week or next week. So it can be treated as either singular or plural. Now, once you see or in the sentence, you need to use a verb that agrees with the subject closest. So that's why we have, if the subject closest to the verb is singular, use a singular verb. Singular verbs end in s, es, ies. Just like my parents or Emily brings me soup when I am sick. So Emily is the last subject here, and Emily is just one. So since Emily is singular, it's gonna be a singular verb next, which is brings. If the subject closest to the verb is plural, complete the sentence with the best verb. So in this one now, you need to complete with the best verb. Hello, can you all hear me? Can you check, please? Is it still frozen? Can you let me know? Is it still frozen? Still? Okay, not anymore. Okay, thank you. All right, so we're just gonna look at the sentence with the best verb here. The fiddles and the flutes dash out of the tune to me. Thank you, guys. Now we have the fiddles and the flute. So, and remember that I told you that once you see that the compound subject has an, you know that it's plural. So this is going to be plural. You're gonna have what? A plural verb. Okay? And the right plural verb is what? Sound. Okay? All right. So we will move on to the test and please send in your answers. All right? Let's make this interactive. Complete the sentence with the best subject. Fall off the decks. Fall off the decks. The piece of paper, the pens and paper. So what is going to be the suitable subject here? Is it going to be the piece of paper or the pens and paper? Fall off the decks. Which one is the right one? What's going to be the right answer here now? One. Helena says one. Hmm. Hmm. Now, first we need to check what's the verb here. The verb here is fall. The verb here is fall, and the verb does not have what? S-E-S or I-E-S. So it's what? It's a plural verb. So if it's a plural verb and then you say number one, it is wrong. Or what is gonna be your right answer? Is it gonna be number one or number two? Which one? So we have the pens and paper, we have the piece of paper. So we just pick this one. So you see that the pens and paper is correct, not the piece of paper. Because what? The paper is what? I don't know if why are you giving up? I have you been listening to all I've been saying? Have you been listening? Why are you giving up? Let's go back. We'll click on the answer that you all picked, number one. We'll click on number one and then let's see. Don't give up. Yeah, you don't have to give up. So you all said the piece of paper. So let's click on the piece of paper. And you see that the piece of paper is wrong. Hmm? You've been talking to Patch, so you didn't pay attention. So it says that the correct answer is the pens and paper, just like I picked in the first one. Okay? So whenever you get anything wrong, you can just scroll down and read, okay? So like I said before, fall words like a plural verb because it doesn't have S-E-S or I-E-S. But if you pick the piece of paper, the piece of paper is a singular subject. So it should be used with a singular verb. The piece of paper was singular. So if you were saying the piece of paper was the answer, it's wrong because fall doesn't have S or ES. Remember that I always say that the singular subject goes with a singular verb, and singular verb has what? ES, IES, or S. Okay? Now, the piece of paper falls. Okay. Then we have the pens and paper is the compound subject joined by the conjunction "and." And if you remember when I explained earlier, I told you that once you have "and" in the sentence, look at it here. When a compound subject is joined by "and," it is treated as plural. That was what I said. So we had "and" in the sentence. So that means that subject was treated as plural because of the "and." And we're talking about compound subject joined by "and" or, right? Okay. So yeah. Now the pens and paper is a compound subject joined by "and," so it should be used with a plural verb. Okay? Yeah. So that's why the answer was not the piece of paper. It's because "and" here shows that this whole subject is plural and fall is a plural verb. So that's it. Now the next one, a car or a bus pays travelers to the airport 3 times a day. So now a car or a bus. Now in this situation, it has or, and I told you all that when it has or, it is either a singular subject or a plural. Now what you need to do is look at the last one here. And then it says bus. It doesn't say buses, right? So the last one is a singular subject. If you want to go from you can just go. All right? So we have the singular subject and we're going to have the singular verb. So this one. Thank you. Your answer is correct. Now, this one, sound out of tune to me. So what is the right subject? What's going to be the best subject here? Sound out of tune to me. Sound is what, a plural verb. So what will be the right answer? This is just like the first one that I explained. What do you all think will be your answer? So two, maybe. Yes, two is correct. Your answer is actually correct because we have sound here, and sound is what? Sound is a plural verb. Yes, two is the correct answer. And here stands for the plural. Okay? All right, let's do two more questions before I let you all finish up. We have hurries away from the scene. Hurries with es, which is what, a singular verb. So what's gonna be the right answer here? The best subject, because we have hurries, which is a singular. So is it gonna be a man and his dog or a strange quiet figure? Which one? A strange quiet figure or a man and his dog? Two. Yes. Okay. A strange quiet figure. Now we have this one. This will be the last one before you all ask a question. My nephew Ronald Dash presents before the adults. My nephew Ronald. So is it gonna be open or opens? Open or opens? Open or opens? My nephew Ronald. Because this is what, my nephew. One person. It is what, a singular subject. So is it gonna be this or this one? One. Are you sure it's one? My nephew Ronald, one person, singular subject. So it's gonna be what? Opens. All right, please send in your questions. Do you have any question? Yes, thank you. Two is the correct one. Yes, two is correct. Okay, so do you have any questions? You all send in a question. Do you have any before we end? Do you have any question? Do you have any questions before we end? Any question? Yes or no? No. Okay, thanks, Leah. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. I hope that you do understand our lesson. You can try to just watch it all over again if you still do not understand, okay? So, bye. Have a good night, everyone. See you next time. Bye.